Hi, and welcome back to my spiritual corner. My name is Ragna, and I'm a Norwegian solitary witch, writer, spiritual teacher, tarot reader, and podcaster. Thank you so much for tuning back into my show, which is every Friday. And thank you for either watching on YouTube or maybe you're listening on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. Either way, I'm so happy and grateful that you are here. And today we are having another Q&A episode. I have called these episodes now Ask the Witch. So ask the witch about spiritual themes and spiritual practice. And as in every episode, I also give a free tarot reading, and today it is dear Lisbeth Båtnes Hareide, which is getting her free mini tarot reading at the end of the episode. And I'm going to look at her work situation. So just hold on, Lisbeth. At the end of the episode, you'll get your reading, and we'll see what the tarot card has in store for you. And today we are having a little Q&A, and I decided today to have like a theme. Like I've had several questions about shadow work. Both my friend Heidi Venli has sent like how to work with your shadow, like how do you work with your shadow sides, or tell about shadow work. How do you do that? And my Maria Noor as well. She sent me an email a while ago asking, okay, shadow work. Can you please tell more about what that is and how you do it? And is it possible to remove negative energies by using shadow work as a method? And these are really interesting and really important questions, I think, that will help many people. I hope at least my answers will help a lot of people. It's so important, first of all, what is shadow work? Like, and what is your shadow sides? And it this is so important to kind of have a happy and balanced life. Like we all have we say shadow work when we talk about how you work with different methods or techniques and tools, how you work with your more lesser favorable traits. Okay, so things, sides that you maybe aren't that proud of, that you're doing, that you're thinking, that you're that's kind of, maybe you are jealous, maybe you are overeating, maybe you are bitter, maybe you are complaining, and all these things happen even though you're like super spiritual. Maybe you are been meditating for years and years, you are working with self development and stuff like this, but time and again we all get into these negative spirals. So we all do. Every spiritual teacher, every meditation teacher, like every healer, every, yeah, it all happens. It's part of being human. So please don't beat yourself up if you have all like these shadow sides or negative attributes that you're maybe not that proud of. Please, like the key, as it might sound a bit cliche, but love is the answer. It's that you need to love yourself, even these sides that you have, okay? Because if you don't love yourself and you just keep beating yourself up, it will only get like worse. Like seriously. And I believe me, I talk with a lot of experience. Like and you will, like for the rest of your life, you'll have again and again, you will go into this kind of ups and downs in your life, and you will also have periods when you're not that proud of yourself, when it's a crappy day or crappy week, even months, but then you kind of get back up again. That's the thing with shadow work. You work your way through these feelings, these emotions, these traits, these habits. And the more you work with your shadow sides, and the more you work with self development, the more you work with love for yourself and the people around you, the environment, the animals, the earth, the more, the less time you spend in these shadow sides. But they will be there, and they are there for a reason. Like, as I said before in earlier episodes as well, like, dear listener, you don't need to believe in reincarnation or any of the things I talk about in this show, but you're most welcome as anyway. Like it's, but I believe in reincarnation, and I talk a bit about this, or I talk a lot about it in my different episodes, and it's also like a natural part of my spiritual practice, my belief system as well. Because I believe with reincarnation, I mean that we live again and again in different lives, maybe different solar systems. Like uh, I like firmly believe that I have been around on this planet before, of many hundred years ago, as a witch then as well, and I was burned. So it's I'm back. But I believe that we reincarnate to learn stuff. Like our soul wants to experience feelings, experience growth, and all the things that comes with being a human. So, and I think shadow work is like one of the key, maybe one of the most important, but also one of the most difficult things to work with, because it's so, in many yeah, in many ways it can be painful. It's not that it's dangerous or anything, so please don't be afraid, but it's, you know, you can be embarrassed of yourself. Like I can be embarrassed of myself being jealous of, for example, other spiritual teachers, mentors, coaches that are doing well. And when that happens, I totally accept my feeling. Like okay, the first reaction is that I get embarrassed, I get a bit angry with myself, or I was like, oh my god, you're such a child, Ragna, blah blah blah, for being embarrassed, for thinking that you're lesser than this person, or maybe you're being a bit like, I'm so tired of seeing all these happy posts on Instagram and you're making all that money and blah blah blah. I Because that happens, and I think it happens quite a lot, not only with me and other people as well in this business. Like, and it's kind of it's quite a paradox, because we're all working and doing our best, working out of love, like being compassionate, being like including, and yeah, I think you get the picture. So I get embarrassed of having this kind of like lower frequency energy feelings about other people, about myself. And that is what shadow work also, it's kind of the definition of what shadow work is. It's like it's when you work with these energies, habits that have a bit lower frequency. And I think, talking about energy frequencies, like I should probably have an own episode about talking just about energies as well. But being loving, being compassionate, being uh what's it called again, yeah, loving, it's like you have a higher frequency. Like when you're being open minded, you're accepting all kinds of people, like you're open arms for everyone. So when you're going into these lower feelings, well, I look at it as lower energy. When you are bitter, when you are jealous, when you are angry, so it doesn't grow, it doesn't make you grow feeling these feelings. But being loving, feeling abundant, like helping others, giving from yourself, it's that's kind of a more a higher frequency of thinking. And also, as during a spiritual development as well, you go through, like, I think it was in episode 2, I just have to check out, I think it is in episode 2 of this podcast, I talk about spiritual awakening. The episode is called Spiritual Awakening, a journey through 6 stages. So check it out if you're like um curious about spiritual awakening, because I think that we go through like specific stages during our development. And it can go a bit back and forth, um, depending on where we are in our lives, and how far we have come. Maybe we had the big awakening as well, and we go a bit back and forth in these stages. But in that episode, I talk about like the journey the first time through the 6 stages. And one of those stages are fear and stagnation. And shadow work is an important part of that phase as well, to kind of get to higher your frequency, to meet yourself with love and your challenges with love. So, how to do shadow work? Well, it's many ways of doing shadow work, and in many ways, a daily spiritual practice is probably one of the best things to do to kind of work with your to be more and more happy, like to have a goal of to be as happy and content as possible. It's probably the best way of having lesser and lesser down periods, lesser uh, bitter feelings. Yeah, it's by focusing on positive thoughts, doing things that makes you happy, and yeah, embracing your own needs as well is a good way of staying out of this low frequency. But they will come anyway, like they will come in one way or another, and in different amounts. So we can talk about shadow work when the bad feelings are there. Like maybe you feel, um for example, one day you are feeling jealous. So one way of working with those feelings, first of all, as I also said, whenever this happens to me, just to give an example, I observe. Okay, why? Okay, I'm feeling jealous. And that's okay. I'm jealous and it doesn't feel okay. Like you just have to kind of accept that you're feeling it, because if you don't accept that it doesn't mean that you will keep on feeling that, but you need to accept that you're feeling it in that moment of time. So okay, I'm feeling jealous, and then maybe you'll just start, okay, why am I feeling jealous? And then you kind of, okay, maybe I'm jealous of that person finally getting that book signing. Like he or she is getting her book out, or he or she are making heaps of money. He or she are having more followers than me. Stuff like this is legit stuff. So, and okay, so they have these things that I don't have, that's making me feeling. So this is how I kind of work my way through it step by step. And then I realize, then you can turn it to something positive. Okay, she or he is getting a book out. And then, okay, I'm so jealous of that. Why? Well, I also want to get my book out. So it's a way of the universe. The universe helps you to kind of realize what is important for you. The universe is using this human tool that the soul is in this life to kind of help you feel these things. Okay, I'm feeling jealous, I'm feeling because it's really important for me to write the book, or to earn more money so I can help more people, or to buy nice stuff as well. It's completely acceptable to love money and love stuff. You're not a bad person for loving money. So just so you know, it's like this strange thing that we are grown up with, that we're not supposed to like money and stuff. But money is good. It's just energy. So so I kind of try to turn these things over to something positive. This is also something that it was an eye opener for me with Mel Robbins. She's one of my favorite life coaches. Check her out. She's not related to Tony Robbins, which also is an amazing life coach. It's something but that name, I think, Robbins. And she also talked about these things, that being jealous and how you can turn it to something positive. I think personally, this is one of the most powerful shadow work tools that you can do. So, and with that said, then you kind of work your way through it, and you accept that you're feeling it, and you're loving yourself for feeling it, because it makes you realize how important this theme, or whatever is happening with that other person or whatever, is for you. So that's one way of doing shadow work. Another way, when you're feeling like really shitty, sorry, pardon my language, but when life is in the dump, like you're feeling low, maybe you're also struggling with depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. And mind you, like if you have any psychological problems, depression, anxiety, and any diagnosis or anything, please also contact professional help, therapists, psychologists as well. These are just complementary tips and techniques that you can use as well. But please also maybe discuss them with your therapist, your doctor, or yeah. So, but One thing I have found that have really helped me when I've had some anxieties attacks, and I'm also been like have some depressions, not any big depressions, but anyway, it's or long lasting depressions, but I've had my dark days as well, like we all have during our lives. I'm grateful that I haven't any diagnosis or stuff like that. But when life is shit and things are really hard, um and I'm like on the dark side of the moon, sort of speaking. Like you don't see any positive things. You just want to lie in bed and yeah, don't exist. I have found that being grateful and using gratefulness is a really powerful and loving way of turning things back again. So, and even just starting in the like really small, being grateful for the small things in life, like smaller and bigger things, of course, being grateful for your family, being grateful that you have food, being grateful that um, you can honor your spiritual side, being grateful that you can, um, yeah, be with people you love, being grateful that you have roof over your head, and stuff like that, like bigger and small. Like as I said, I'm great often say with my membership, at my circle as well, when we meditate, I usually say I'm grateful that I have this warm socks when I'm meditating, because I'm usually freezing on my feet and hands when I'm sitting still. So it can be like smaller and bigger things. So gratefulness is a way of working through. And another thing you can use the with shadow work. You can use, like, dear listeners, if you listen to some episodes, I'm a lunatic. I love the moon, and I love working with the phases of the moon as well. And when the moon is at its darkest, that is 1 to 3 days before the new moon. It's called the dark moon. It depends, like you can call it new moon, dark moon. Like I like to have like different definition, like a couple of days. Some people call that the new moon and other witches call it dark moon, but I call it, personally, I call it dark moon, like just the days before the moon is completely new at the exact time. And when it's a dark moon, that's when the moon is in the, like, it's completely in the shadow of earth, so it's no sunlight on the moon, so it doesn't show on the sky. And this is a perfect time of working with shadow work, because the moon is in the shadow of the earth. So you're kind of regrouping yourself. It's a perfect time for meditation, introspection, healing, deep healing, and also kind of organizing, getting an overview for the next cycle again. So, and usually it's strange. I before I started working with the phases of the moon, and I started like realizing the power of the phases, I usually felt really bad during the dark moon. Like I got really tired. And I still, but today, by knowing this, okay, this is a perfect time for me to reflect. And it's also, as Lisa Lister says, she has written this book, Witch. Um, I'm going to link to her book in this the description of the episode. She is an awesome British English witch, and she says it's my no bullshit time when I'm in the dark moon or in the new moon phase. It's like you see things more clearly, and you don't have time for all the kind of, yeah, not necessary details. You're straight to the core. So it's a nice time to kind of sit down and really think, what is important for me? What can I shed now before I um, start with a new cycle? So you kind of organize. Maybe you feel a bit more need to tidy up. Get an overview. Like last new moon, dark moon, new moon. when it was the new moon in Gemini, I started just tidying everywhere, and I just wanted to organize and get overview everywhere and just clean and get like super tidy with everything. And that's typical dark moon energy, and also how perfect energy to work with your shadow sides. So, and also feelings can come up in this darkness, and remember, um the light is extra bright when you dare to be in your dark. So it sounds a bit dramatic and cliche, but it's the way it is. And I like to journal during this time if I'm feeling crappy. Okay, why am I feeling crappy? Like, have a dialogue with yourself, meditate, focus on the positive things as well, and because things will get better. They will get better. So, and by kind of getting into these darker sides of your soul, um, you um, you will see things more clearly later. It sounds a bit crazy, but yeah, it's things will just fall into place later. So try to kind of accept the feelings that are there, and yeah, write down, be kind to yourself, meditate. Yeah, these are things that are really helpful, I think, during this. That's at least how I like to work with these kind of feelings during the dark moon as well. And another thing, like as we also say, you can also use the full moon. The full moon is a complete opposite energy. It's super high in energy, like you might be get like frantic and super emotional, like super high. When on the dark moon you're low and you're like, "Ooh," it's a bit other frequency. But the full moon is a perfect time to kind of let go, forgive and let go. So you can use the element of fire as well during the full moon. I love to do this kind of ritual. I write down whatever. Okay, for example, just bringing back up this jealous thing. Okay, I'm jealous of blah blah blah. I'm jealous about not having enough money, or I'm jealous about other people having heaps of money, or jealous about other people getting all their books out. Like it's just like it seems so easy, but of course these people have worked really hard to get their books out. So it's stuff like that. Just write it down on a list of paper, and then I burn it in our oven or on a bonfire or something. Remember to be safety first with that. But that's one way of working. You can also listen to my episode about releasing and healing with the full moon, if you want like more details about how to work with the full moon. But that's also a nice way to work with your shadow sides. But I think the most important thing is to, like, when these feelings arise that you're not proud of, that you're maybe a bit embarrassed of, just accept that they are there. Love yourself for feeling these things, and see how you can use it in a constructive and positive and loving way. And then you start doing whatever technique that makes you feel better. Great, being grateful, writing all the shit down and burning it, um, uh, spending time with people that makes you happy. Yeah, and maybe doing a like a moon ritual. There's also probably tons of spells that you can do. But remember, doing spell work and also doing tarot readings, like if you are super emotional, super angry, super bitter, jealous, or super sad, I recommend not doing it straight away. You should do spell work and tarot readings and or divination work, even like when you are balanced and in a harmonious place. So I think accepting yourself, loving yourself, focusing on gratitude, and also doing meditation, introspection, journaling, all these things are really helpful when you're with your shadow sides. Okay. And then when you're more in place, you can analyze more during getting more into things with your tarot cards, doing like a deeper reading when you're in more a balanced place. So, but Maria Noor, she also asked, okay, Can you use shadow work to remove, which we call in Norwegian, is a bit of a funny word, I think, klebeånder, which means sticky spirits. uh, but I would translate these as negative energies that are kind of bound to you, or psychic links is also another name for it. So, but it can also mean that someone that you love or not love are connected to you. This might feel draining. So I think with I'm no medium, like I'm no professional medium. I have really I highly respect all people that work professional with the spirit world, and I think if you're having this sticky spirit experience, just to use that funny word, or you're feeling that some bad energies are like clunging to you, it is a sign that you need to work with your energy hygiene, as I call it, and your boundaries. So, but I also think has something to do with the law of attraction, and could probably have like a yeah, you could have many episodes, a whole course about the law of attraction. Like check out The Secret, check out Mike Dooley, all this kind of manifestation work, the new moon manifestation work, which Jasmine Bolden is talking about as well. But I think here that it's more a problem with your boundaries during your with your energy, being super like every day. I During my morning spiritual practice, I have a morning prayer to the elements, to the god and goddess, light a candle, some incense maybe, and I connect to the elements. And I also have a little prayer that I am divinely protected. My energy is divinely protected. Me and my family and friends are divinely protected. And now every morning I say really clear, only positive and well-meaning and loving energies, creatures, and people are allowed in my life. All other people, they don't exist. Like I have this focus, so it doesn't mean that I never experience negative people or negative feelings, but mind you, I this intention really has helped me heaps of just being clear on, okay, i I work with positive good feeling and energies, and that's it. So that's a way of doing it, and it's many ways of like working with your energy. So I think that is think I've answered this in another episode as well. But you can visualize having like an energetic armor around your body, or being inside like a crystal, or in a major soap bubble that all this negative energy just bounces off. And yeah, use, for example, sun energy or moon energy to cleanse your energy field. Focus on guided meditation that helps you cleanse your energy field and heal your energy field as well. And visit an energy healer, a Reiki healer, crystal healer, something like that, to help you kind of cleanse your energy field. Um, and like on the app Insight Timer, there are heaps of free meditations, guided meditation, which will help you work with your energy field as well. So check it out. So, but I think like shadow work, like being positive, working and accepting like your positive side, no, loving and accepting your shadow sides as well will help you be more positive. And by being more positive and loving and less in this lower energy, lower frequencies, you will attract more positive and love to you. Because I think this sticky spirit, which I'm calling it now because it's a fun word, uh, you kind of attract, you can attract negative energy, you can attract negative things without scaring people. But it's you will see more easily negative things if you are constantly focusing on negative things. So that's just the way it is. So yeah, work on positive focus, that you and set like a daily intention and repeat, as I've done every day for many years now. It really helps me. So that's my personal experience anyway. Okay, I think that's enough about shadow work for now. We could probably discuss this in God knows how long. It's a really important theme, and thank you so much, Heidi and Marie, for sending questions about this. I hope my answers helped you. So yeah, and yeah, it's important to honor these sides as well. Okay, so and now it's time for Lisbeth Båtnes Hareide's tarot reading, and please, dear listener or watcher, if you're watching on YouTube, if you want a free tarot reading, don't hesitate on contacting me on Instagram, Facebook, or the email address podcast@ragnaspiritualcorner.com and send a request for your free tarot reading. I look on every themes except pregnancies, death, and health. And yeah, just let me know what you want me to look at, and I'll let you know if I choose your request and in which episode you get your reading. So today I am using the Wild Unknown Tarot for Lisbeth's reading, which I'm going to have a look at her work situation. So first, I thank the cards as a part of my tarot routine and yeah, practice. Dear tarot cards, thank you so much for all the wisdom and knowledge that you have shared so far. Please know that your knowledge is only used for the higher good and to help other people as well as my self development. Help me now to help Lisbeth to look at her work situation and what she needs to know. Show what is true, loving, and necessary for Lisbeth. Thank you. And I'm only reading the cards the original way or the right way. So, Lisbeth, let's see what the cards has in store for you. And when I usually get some pictures when I shuffle the cards just before I pull the cards. I'm going to pull 3 cards for you, Lisbeth, as I do in these mini readings as well. And the first thing I see is mountains, and I get also the word hiking. You should get your mind clear on the mountain. So maybe you're also planning a trip or something for this summer holiday. But hiking and being on the mountain, talking with the mountain spirits, maybe mountain fairies, goblins will be helpful for you. They will help you get really practical and also have a clear intention about your work. So honor the spirits. Have some oatmeal grains or seeds with you to offer for the nature and the fairies, and just sit and meditate on the mountain, or just be really mindful as you walk on the mountain. Okay, that's just a little extra message as well as the 3 cards that I'm pulling for you. And we're going to look at the first card now, which is 6 of Cups. And on this card, on the Wild Unknown Tarot, like, I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube or listening, Lisbeth, we see a big tree with big roots deep into the ground, and the roots are really colorful. So I think it's important to remember who you are. Because 6 of Cups usually has something to do with your past memories as well. So it's also a duality here. It's a lesson as well. Don't get too hung up with the past. You need to stay focused and be present to grow as well. But I think it's also in this reading, I feel intuitively that it's important for you to remember who you are, Lisbeth. Remember your power, remember your abilities, and be super proud and respectful for yourself and your own kind of qualities. You are super powerful, intuitive, and yeah, you can really help people with your experiences and your past as well. So I think maybe if it's a change in work, it is talk about, like, we're going to pull 2 extra cards as well, but it's you can use your experience in your work. Okay, like your earlier experience. It's something that you can talk about, like your personal experience as well. So, and the second card is the Magnificent Chariot from the Major Arcana, Lisbeth. So this is a big one. And here we see a beautiful white horse just going straight ahead of us, and she has a lovely pentacle around her neck, a waning moon in her forehead and the sun is behind her. So this is like honoring all your sides. We're talking about shadow work in this episode. So in this Ask the Witch episode. So honor your shadow side, honor your light sides, and have a clear focus on where you want to go. So with the chariot, it is a success card and it is a destiny card as well, and you are on the right way. So, but remember to keep your eyes on the prize. So stay focused and carry with you all your sides, all your shadow side, all your light sides, and remember to also bring in your personal experience. Try to open up a bit. I think this personal experience will really help you and help you help other people. Okay, the last card. So the last card is also a major arcana card, and I just simply love this card in this deck in the Wild Unknown Tarot. And here we have the Hermit. Let's see if the and on this deck it's a turtle being inside its shell, and on the top of its shell it's a lantern glowing. I just love this card, and it's about taking it easy with yourself as well, like going into yourself to introspect, to meditate, to find your inner knowledge. So I really encourage you, dear Lisbeth, to like really, really look inside yourself. What was your dreams when you were young? What is your abilities? What is your kind of born abilities that you are supposed to use this life? So kind of do some get heavily meditated, as David G says. I love his meditation teaching, and yeah, look into um what is important for you. And with the Hermit, it's also always a nice card to get, because all the answers you need are within you, Lisbeth. So don't doubt your abilities. Like you have so much knowledge, so much wisdom inside you. So you just need to allow more time to listen to it, okay? Okay, best of luck. And whatever would work, you need to use more of your personal experience to move ahead as well. I think that is important. And keep your eyes on the prize and focus by meditating and doing some introspection. Okay. Thank you so much for sending a question. And dear listener, if you also want a free tarot reading, don't hesitate to uh, send me a request on the email address podcast@ragnaspiritualcorner.com, or contact me on Instagram or Facebook or on my webpage as well. Okay, so next week, I hope you're tuning in then, because then we're going to talk about Litha, the summer solstice celebration that we witches do to celebrate midsummer and celebrate, yeah, nature. So tune in next week to learn more about what Lita is and how you can celebrate this lovely, lovely magical Sabbath. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in on this week's show, and see you next Friday. Have a nice weekend and blessed be. Bye.